Hello everyone and welcome to what is hopefully going to be the last of these Mun Probes streams. I'm hoping to finish off that particular strategy. Actually, while I talk about it, why don't we warp to sunrise? We can see the key at KSC. Yes, for the past little while I've been working towards the Mun Probes strategy, which is all about landing. The end objective is to land 3 probes in 3 different biomes on the surface of the moon, and I want to finish that off today. And in fact, in preparation for that, what I want to do is I want to start by upgrading the administrative building to Tier 3. I cannot believe what I would consider the most useless building in the stock game to be the first building that I am actually putting to Tier 3. But I think it's worth the 563,000 Kerb bucks to be able to activate one more additional strategy. And why don't we take a look at these strategies, because it's been a little while since I've looked at these, and I've unlocked a number of new ones, and I think some of these are worth exploring. So, for instance, this is my Mun Probes one that I've already talked about, and again, it's going to give me some rewards for landing 3 probes on the surface of the moon. And during this time, while this was active, I got 400% funds on milestones gained for the moon, but minus 80% on funds for milestones gained on other bodies. So that's why my focus has been on the moon. And what I'm thinking about once this one is done is to actually move over to the Mun program. This is much the same sort of thing. Hello everybody. Hello Peter. Hello Jameson. This is much the same thing, but for crews, to land crew people, plant flags, and that kind of things. Notice the milestones are the same. 400% funds for milestones gained around the moon, but minus 80% funds for milestones gained around other bodies. However, there is a requirement I've not met yet, which is to put a Kerbal in orbit. So I think that's what I... Oh, must have returned a crew from orbit of Kerbal. I certainly haven't done that. Maybe this is not checked off. I'm confusing myself. This is saying that I can't activate this one until this one's done. So that's why this one's orange. Yeah. It's saying here, I think, that I've done a crew orbit of Kerbal, and I certainly have not done that. I'm confused. But I do have some other ones that I want to unlock. Over here, I have To Boldly Go 1. To Boldly Go 1 gives me an extra 15,000 funds when science is transmitted or recovered from new biomes. And what I want to do is upgrade this now to Boldly Go 2. Boldly Go 2 normally costs $50,000, but what I do is I get a 15,000 refund for trading in sort of Boldly Go 1, and what it does is, again, $25,000 funds for everything transmitted from a new biome, and $100,000 in funds for science transmitted and recovered from new celestial bodies. So I like that one. I think that one's a good one to keep around for a while, so I'm just going to do the upgrade. Yep, I'm good with that. Notice that just replaced To Boldly Go 1 with To Boldly Go 2. And I want to pick up a third one, and there's lots of kind of fun ones in here. Like, for instance, I'm not going to get this one, but I think it's funny, is Contract Slot Machine. It removes the reputation loss for when you decline a contract, and then it modifies the rewards and penalties either plus or minus 50%. Obviously done at random. So this is, I would grab this if I had stock contracts, because so many of the stock contracts I don't like, and then I can go decline until I get one that I like. Again, the Contract Slot Machine, and it comes in different flavors. Probe Frenzy would have been an interesting one to get, but where the cost of you get +4 science from probe transmissions, but the cost of crewed launches goes up 100%. I don't want to get that now because I want to move into crewed launches. And there's other ones. These ones in this area are for doing things like trading funds for reputation, or science for reputation, or science for funds, and all that kind of stuff. There's also ones for improving your pilots, engineers, and scientists. I first have to start getting some of those working for me. But the one I'm looking at are these massive scale launches. There's massive scale launch 1, which gives you 40,000 funds if you reach orbit with a vessel with a mass of at least 20 tons. 20 tons is not a lot. I'm assuming that's the starting mass too. I hope I'm not mistaken with that. But you've seen a number of launches of at least 20 tons, and then massive scale 2 gives you the bonus for 20 tons, but then further bonuses for cracking 75 tons, which I've not done yet, but as things get bigger, I'm bound to. So I'm going to grab that one too. Yes, I would love that one. So there we go. Got 3 different strategies going to help boost my game. Otherwise, well, we're all ready for the moon. You might have recalled at the end of the last stream that I built Munar 4, which is my Mun Probes lander. Oh, wait, contracts. I almost forgot. Mission control contracts. I forgot. Sorry. The contracts I'm looking at are underneath career evolution. I have for crude milestones, crack the Kármán line, which is getting above 70 kilometers. Let's grab that. And put your first Kerbal in orbit. Let's grab that. Because I really do want to work towards that once I'm done with the whole moon landing stuff with probes. And the other one I'm looking at is... where is it here? Collecting science, there it is. Collect scientific data from space around the moon. Yes, I have something there collecting science right now. This should be a freebie. I'm going to grab that. Boink. There we go. All right. Otherwise, Munar 4 is ready to go. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, if you just click on the launch pad, we're going to find Munar 4. And we're going to hit just the launch button. We're ready to go with this right now. So the what is going on right now once Munar 4 appears is right here. This is a double lander. There's a lander inside a lander here. Let's open up our contracts. Select Munar 4. We have 2 contracts to collect scientific data from the surface of the moon, and the Mun Probes contract, which is just to land. It says to land 3, but I'm noticing that the northwest crater is green. The only thing that I even touched the moon's surface with, and it was not a gentle touch, was I built a moon impactor some time ago. It may have counted that. So if these 2 landers just land in 2 other biomes, this I think will satisfy the contract. If not, we'll have to send a 3rd one. And we'll just, and I don't see what else to do other than to just see what happens. So we're gonna get that ready, SAS on. We're off. We're ready to go. Let's do this thing. And again, doing my customary waiting till about 50 meters per second for my speed, knocking it over towards the east, locking that onto the prograde vector. I can see I want this heading to be 90 degrees. I can see it's a little bit too far south, so we'll pull that northwards a bit, see where that settles out. But for the most part, I just like to keep it locked on that prograde vector. Dramatically improves stability. If you're having trouble with flipping out rockets, usually it's because you're probably getting too far away from this prograde. This little yellow circle, I don't like to get outside of it. Probably ascending a little on the steep side. That's okay. Okay, there goes those. Hello, Ziggy. Hello, Dan. Glad you could join us. Okay, whoa. I'm just noticing my apoapsis is starting to get away on me. I want to keep that inside a minute ahead of me. So we're just going to reduce throttle. I'm coming up more steeply than I normally would like. But I find the less fiddling I do, the better these things go. So we'll just let it keep riding up that prograde vector. Alrighty. There we go. And we'll get a look at our Mun Probes very, very, very shortly once I release this fairing, which I typically do at about 50 kilometers of altitude. Okay. Sorry, why do you use... What do you... I can't read what George is saying. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read a comment, but maybe I should pay attention to what I'm doing. A little bit more thrust here. About 50 kilometers. So let's crack that fairing. There it goes. Oh, a little bit of a bounce off of one of the tail fins, but I think that's okay. We can put our lights on for what that's worth. Let this continue to build. What did you miss? Pretty much nothing, Dan. A bit of a preamble, and now we are on our way with 2 landers on their way to the moon. You can see there's our one little lander up top, and then this whole guy's our second lander to go down. Okay, our apoapsis is now over 70 kilometers. I'm going to cut the throttle when we get to 80. There we go. Oh, okay, so George was asking, do you use a mod loader or do you just put the files in the KSP folder? For most of the mods that I've installed in this game here, I used CCAN to install them. There are a couple of contract packs that are old and aren't available on CCAN. Those ones I did have to put in manually. But they seem to be perfectly okay, so there you go. Alright, so just got to finish off the circularization here. Why don't we start throttling up? Almost at our apoapsis. Shouldn't take too much to finish off this circularization. Oh, in fact, I'm already starting to push apoapsis away. I'll reduce that throttle. Apoapsis is really getting away. There we go. Not the prettiest orbit, but it's what it is. All right, we'll put this on to, again, our north vector just for solar panel exposure. And in fact, what I keep saying to myself that I should do, and I keep forgetting to do, because I always use this lower stage for the first part of my Munar injection, is why not take this, because my thrust to weight right now is through the roof, because there's hardly any fuel left in this booster, and this rocket is a lifter. So I'm just going to reduce this right down to something sane. There we go, 1.73 for the thrust to weight ratio. All right, let's get to the moon. We'll set the moon as target. Same old, same old. Really been exploring the heck out of the moon and not giving Minmus any love at all. Sorry, Minmus, one day. But those strategies really do encourage you to just focus on kind of one thing at a time. And to be honest, for me, focus is hardly a bad thing. All right, let's see what this looks like. Select that maneuver and bring up this little doober. Nope, that little doober. There we go. Adjust the timing here a bit. Actually, I can probably give a little bit of retrograde. Definitely. No need to burn more than I have to. Oh, that's about it. Okay, let's get ourselves close. And just, for once, we're not going for any kind of particular orbit. This is just simply to get in nice and close. I kind of like in and around 12 kilometers or so. There we go. Ah, shoot. Why not? I don't know why I'm getting so picky. Stop being so picky. You're just going to burn this thing anyway. Okay. So this burns a minute and 11 seconds. So let's get to it. Warp to that maneuver. And slap her around towards the prograde vector. Close this. Get that out of the way. Put that onto the maneuver node. All right. And here we can warp ourselves a little bit closer. Wait for that countdown timer to get down to 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And there, like a nice, gentle-ish sort of burn. We won't be hanging on to this stage for very long. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Not quite sure what happened there. Oh, let's put that back on. Something asymmetric happened there. Maybe one of these landing legs got a little bit caught up with the decoupler. I don't know. But either way, we're okay. We're fine. Oh, how about as soon as I finish this, I put up those antennas. That would be a good idea. Being able to communicate with this probe would be a good thing. All right. Our view to out here. Now reduce throttle. Let's get rid of this. Come on, where are you? I think I reduced throttle a little bit too early. There it comes. Click on you. There he is. I want to see you. Ah, I can go a little closer. That's a little too close. We'll fix that when we get there. I think this little spark engine on here has a lot of ignitions. 15 ignitions? Okay, I can't be super crazy considering that that engine has to get us right down to the moon. So let's not, let's be a little more cautious maybe. All right. Yeah. Antennas. I think I got them on 1 for an action group. Yep, there goes 1, there goes 2. Excellent. Okay, let's get ourselves out there. No correction, no nothing, just straight out to the moon. So, yeah, warp to here. Goodbye, Kerbin. Oh, there's some... Oh, yes! Radiation, I think? I don't know where this... Okay, I'm not sure where some of that science just came from. Why did I just get a radiation scan? That was kind of confusing. There is a radiation scanner on here, but I figured I got everything from in and around Kerbin. Maybe not. More sight experiment from my satellite that's in a polar orbit about the moon. Okay. And we can also marvel at the glory of my relay network around the moon there. Look at that. I can't get enough of that. I still want to put 2 more satellites up here sometime, but yeah, nice. Okay. Oh wait. Nope, not circularization time. Let's reduce this throttle a lot and put us on the radially out vector. That's radially in. Hello there, Mr. Nico. Welcome. And Dionicus, hello. Okay, get this out to about 12. Good enough. All right, let's put ourselves a capture burn. So nice coming in here and not going for anything really fancy or particular with these orbits. Just, you know, just going for a regular old capture. Oops, get that timing a little bit more precise. There we are. And none of this is super critical. So why am I still fiddling with it if it's not super critical? There we go. Okay, back onto the normal vector for our solar panels. And we shall warp to 7 Mun. Now we should be collecting science. We certainly are. Oh no, yeah, we did what did we transmit? That was that radiation science. That's so weird. We have really done a good job of collecting science in orbit about the moon, but not so much about getting down to the surface. In fact, not at all. I just realized as well. 3 minutes and 8 seconds for this burn? I don't think so. 20 seconds for this burn. That's much better. Okay. Getting ourselves close to this node. Get ready to do this. And I'm just going to keep it locked on retrograde. I'm sure that'll be fine because this is not that long a burn. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Whoa. That's good enough. Call it at that. Again, let's get here for solar panels and let's get ready to release our first lander. Okay, so I'm just going to put ourselves into the sunlight so that we can get a view of what's going on here. That's good enough, I think. And yeah, that's just that decoupler. I'm just gonna do it from here rather than, I get nervous sometimes with staging. I don't know why. So decouple, there we go. As it moves away, get up to the top one here. Nicey nice. Just a little guy. Let's activate all of these engines. Actually, I should be able to just stage that. Come on, stage it. Stage it. Why is it not staging? I don't know. Can we just activate this way? There we go. Staging was giving me a funny clicking noise. Whatever. There we are. 875 meters per second at delta V. Plenty to get down to the surface. So what we got to do now is pick ourselves a landing spot. So let's open up our SCANsat map. This is a biomap, a Kerbin, and you can see this is 100% complete. That's like wonderful, but that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in the moon. The contract was only to map 75% of it, I think. So yeah, there's still some stretches that aren't mapped, but it does look pretty good. You can see here, this is our orbit. A little gentle sine wave because it's not quite, we do have a little bit of an inclined orbit, but that's okay. And the one thing, if we take a look at this contract, our Mun Probe contracts, I can land in any of these biomes except for the northwest crater. And that's where this is also sweet. I can just look at which one of these is the northwest crater. See, it's telling me down there at the bottom what each of these are. Okay, well, whatever. Let's just pick a landing spot. So, I think you can get it to show the night and dark sides. I just gotta, there it is, this little toggle here. There we go. So I want to land on the daylight side, not on the night side. And if we take a look, you can see that the night side, or the daylight side, is pretty much the far side of the moon right now. But that's okay because I got all my relays, so I don't have to worry about communication. I should have communication all the way around. What I am looking at, let's zoom in on this part. How about right here? This is the, oh, that's the Farside crater. That's okay. Farside crater is good. Why don't we go for the Farside crater? And I should be able to place a waypoint in here. Let's just put it right in the middle. And this blue is where we're coming to. This orange dots is our previous orbit, so you can get an idea of how much the orbit does progress with each one of these. I think we're coming pretty close to this, so why don't we just drop this in here somewhere. That should do it. And I should have, if I open up my waypoint selector, too many windows. I should have that waypoint. Maybe not. Oh, the waypoint disappeared. Okay, let's try that again. Waypoint. Put in a waypoint. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to put it in with this tool, waypoint selector. All right, clearly I should have figured this out before, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do this without using a waypoint. Maybe in the meantime I'll figure out what we're doing. Okay, so the twin craters were, or the Farside crater was this guy, right? Shoot. This is why I like the waypoint, so I can make sure I'll land where I want to land. Where is my SCANsat map? Looking here, yes, right above Apoapsis. That's this crater. So that's what we're going to go for. So where we're at, we're not in a bad spot to begin our descent burn. Why don't we get ourselves a little bit closer? Right about here. I like to come in pretty shallow. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start this descent burn right here. We're going for it. We're going for it. And of course you do want to watch to make sure that trajectory is well above terrain features and the like. Let's still go a little further. There we go. That looks safe. And then we'll kill our velocity as we get closer to that. Okay, let's contracts. Let's close this one. This up here. Get that to there. Put this on terrain is a good idea. Descending the landing gear would be a good idea. And I also like to rotate the vessel so that blue is up on the Navball, and then that way, you know, when I start doing... Okay, let's control from here. Is the control point weird? Control from here. No? Why is that? Oh no, that makes sense. I just need my view to be this way. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. My view is just funny there. See, so now up and down is up and down, and left and right is left and right. It's just the view. The camera hadn't switched to that free view yet on me, and that confused me. I also want this speed to be on surface. All right, let's get to it. So, putting it down on the surface of the moon. Let me watch from here, see how close we are. Yeah. Notice when I time warp how my attitude isn't frozen, I'm still tumbling. That is the persistent rotation mod. So we get more and more involved with things. That mod will be more apparent. Alright, are all this stuff ready to go? Yep, that's waiting, that's waiting. I just want to make sure all my science is ready to go. Radiation scan is waiting. Actually, you know where you can look at it. You can also do it from here. Yep, everything is waiting here except for the seismic scan because it's in an invalid situation because it needs to be on the surface. And then once we hit, we should be ready to go. Let's get ourselves over there. I think we are now over that Farside crater just about. So all we got to do is eyeball ourselves. Actually, let's reduce this trajectory a little more. Kind of looking around this area here, I think. That seems all right for now. I should have figured out how that waypoint manager thing worked. Let's get closer. All right. I think we need to do this. So I like to mostly keep this onto the horizontal because this is what you're mostly killing. Let's just do it full throttle. Maybe a little this way. Try to avoid that crater. Maybe put ourselves down in that zone. Keeping it on the horizontal and really just concentrating on my horizontal speed. The only time I come off of the horizontal is if I start to get worried about what my, crashing into the ground. But pretty much killed our horizontal speed here. Let's just go right where we are. And I'm coming down quick, so just maneuver this to the top here. Okay, we're still about a little over a kilometer above the surface. I got a lot of delta V, so I shouldn't be. Let's not get cute. Let's do this safely. Let's really reduce my velocity here. Oh, nice thrust to weight ratio. It really slows down quickly. See some sort of terrain feature there. Oh, I can see my shadow. That's always nice. Oh, we got some sort of engine malfunction. Some sort of engine malfunction, but thankfully I have 3 of them. I don't have time to look down there and investigate, but an engine has just gone kaputty. That's Kerbalism. Let's just get down to the surface, shall we? I think I'm only going on 2 engines. All right, we're down. Yeah, this engine here, this one in yellow, oh boy, these springs are crappy, but whatever, we're down. This one in yellow here, it malfunctioned on me. If it's yellow, that means a Kerbal can come fix it. But we ain't got no Kerbals to come down here and fix it. So I was doing that mostly on these 2 engines, or all on these 2 engines. But I felt the torque when all of a sudden that malfunction, it started to come off. But either way, we're down. We're down. That's exciting. So on our probe contract, we should now have checked off the Farside crater. Excellent. One more. One more. And we should be collecting all kinds of data. Now, most of these is going to be done pretty quickly, and it's transmitting it away. Yep. The only one that takes a long time is the double C seismic accelerometer. If I bring that up here, you can see it takes 14 days and 4 hours to collect all 36 of this science. That means that this thing needs to survive through the Munar night, the 3 days of darkness that as the moon rotates. Thankfully, the electricity draw on this experiment is very, very small. So just these 4 batteries that are on here is enough for it to survive through the night. But the other ones should be done in relatively short order. So we'll stick around. Oh, the temperature scans just got 3 seconds. No, is that what that's saying? I don't know what that's saying. I can see the telemetry port is 3 minutes. Why don't we actually open these up? I can see them from here. Temperature scans got 22 seconds. The telemetry report is done. I think that's the transmission times I'm getting there. This guy's got 6 minutes. So why don't we get to the Geiger counters done. There we go. So that is all that's left, is to transmit this this telemetry report. It'll be doing that in just a little bit. I just noticed my contract for getting some science data from the surface of the moon just went green. Awesome sauce. And again, the seismic scan is going to take over 14 days. So we're just going to leave it here and let it do its thing over the next little while. So right now, though, we need to get ourselves... Oh, why don't we rename this? Just noticing it's called Munar 4 Probe. I don't like that. This is Munar 4. I'm going to call it B. This one's the 4B. The other one will be the 4A. Even though this one got down here first. But this one was carried there. Okay. Let's get to the other Munar 4. And jump to that craft. Go. Alright, so this thing here is ready to go. Now let's extend the landing gear. It's got to land in a different biome from the Northwest Crater and the Farside Crater. I'm noticing... Can I adjust? There's a no, I can't adjust this here. Oh wait, yes, maybe I can. Spring dampeners, take them off of auto. Let's put the spring strength up high. The dampening strength up high. I just noticed, oh, these are heavier landing gear. Okay, I should be okay. These are heavier landing gear than those micro ones. I just didn't like the way it sunk. Okay, how many ignitions are left on this? This has 13 ignitions. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. Though the Ant engine, I'm sure, still had plenty of ignitions before it went. All right, let's pick a new spot. Again, what is this crater? That's the Farside crater. That's where we just were. This crater is the East Farside crater. Why don't we go... Actually, why don't we not be so silly? Why don't we just go for some good old-fashioned Midlands or something? There's a Midland crater. Is there one of those that we can get? Those are always good. Midland craters, if there's a... Like here, look at this. Still got 1,294 meters per second. Why don't we go for one of these Midland craters? Why the heck not? Now, I'm going to... Waypoint selector. There is a... Oh, I'm not pushing the set button, am I? Maybe that's my issue. Boom. And now push set. Was that really all I was doing wrong? I am such a melon McHead. That is nowhere near... Is that in the right spot? Yes. I think so. Yeah. We're going to go for this right here. This waypoint one. I just wasn't pushing that set button. And I'm going to keep this mini map on. I think that's useful. I'm going to tuck that up to here. And we're going to get Waypoint Manager out. This is what I was trying to do before. Where is Waypoint Manager? Waypoint Manager. And now this is the zone thingy. Yeah, I can select that. And now that waypoint will appear on my Navball, which is just super. Okay, let's get ready to put it down on there. I want to land in this crater. That's my goal. Again, let's not be as cute this time. I want to try and... We'll come down a little bit more steeply. I have the fuel for it. Okay, on to the retrograde vector we go. And not so many stops and starts with that engine. Because this one doesn't have 3 engines. It has only 1. Okay. Again, we'll rotate this to get the blue up. Put this on terrain. And put this one on surface. All right, let's do this. And now you can see my waypoint. And it also is also telling me how far away the waypoint is and a heading to the waypoint, which is kind of useful. Having a waypoint to aim for. I don't have to land right in the waypoint. I just got to make sure I land in that crater. But having this little distance to it's great. Okay, so we're coming over some sort of crater here. I always mix up all my moon craters. I don't know if other people are better at keeping them all straight than me. Oh, I should also check. I don't think... Go to auto. Yep, all these. Let's put them all on waiting. Waiting, 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 waiting. The science wasn't turned on those. So let's get the science all... So as soon as we touch down, we're collecting science. Alright, we're about 50 kilometers away. We're coming right... Where is our... There's our icon. I couldn't see it. Let's slow down a little bit more. Or a lot more, in fact. Okay. And I'm not that good at this whole... Oh, I can start to see me on the little mini-map. I'm not that good at guessing... The precise landings, I don't know. I'm not that good at it. Okay. And I want to not do a whole lot of starts and stops on that engine. Ooh, it looks pretty crappy in there, too. Hopefully this will be okay. If it falls over, that's fine. I don't really care. I realized I could have put a Kerbal Engineer chip on this. You know what? I want to come more out here. I think. Yes. Let's come this way. Let's do it. Try and put it over here. It looks a little bit more friendly. I'm going to pitch up a bit because I'm a little closer to the terrain this time. I want to make sure I do get myself into the right biome. Though, I mean, it's not a disaster if I don't. These moon craters are so... these Midland moon craters are one of the harder ones to get. I said I was going to stop doing all these stops and starts on this engine, didn't I? So why am I doing it? Okay, let's just put her down right here. Oh, we're falling. We're falling and we can't get up. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm not convinced I'm actually in the biome I want to be in now that I'm looking at this. Looks like I'm in the Lowlands. That's okay. That's alright. Okay, let's slow down. And lots of fuel. Well, I should stop that. Just throttle down. Don't turn it off. Cap lock. Do that. That might help. This is not the most efficient of landings, but I'm paranoid about the engine. And because I have tons of fuel, I'm just going to keep this burning at like a super low thrust. So I don't have to worry about those ignition failures. Whoa, that was a little rough. Don't fall over, don't fall. Oh, if it falls over, it falls over. As long as it doesn't blow up. Okay, so a little slopey, Our data, are we in the Lowlands? I got a feeling we are. Yeah, we're in the Lowlands. I should have gotten myself into this zone here. But that's okay. That's all right. Lowlands count. Notice Mun Probes contract is complete. I'm getting some really wacky jitteriness with those. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Oh, we're going for a slide now. Noticing one of these little artifacts over here. Okay, so that contract is complete. That is awesome. And that finishes off that strategy. So the next, I'm going to kind of, you know, I don't know if I want to keep sliding because I got a feeling I might. Here. Let's adjust that spring strength again because I think, that might have been what was caught. I don't want to keep sliding. I want to stay in this biome. There. That looks so weird. Okay. Okay. We still are in Lowlands. That's good. The reason why, again, I might as well collect all of this science, but I'm thinking maybe once it's all done, if I can actually sort of glide get down into this, it'd be a no-risk scenario. That might be worthwhile to get down into this biome. I still have 538 meters per second, so maybe we can do ourselves a little bit of a hop, but let's right now just time warp away all of this data. It's the radiation scan that takes the longest. There we go. Oh, telemetry report. Okay, yeah, it's still going to transmit the telemetry report and then the seismic scan, which remember takes 14 days. So that's it. We're done. Awesome, awesome sauce. And I'm going to, just as a reminder, where's alarm clock? Is in 15 days, I want to come back to here and I want to move. Well, cap locked. Move into Midland Crater. And I want that to happen in about 14 days and 4 hours. There we go. So this is a little reminder that when this time comes up, I want to give this seismic scan should be all done, and I want to come over here and see if we can get ourselves another biome. But right now, back to the Space Center we go. Yet landed on a little bit too much of a slope. All right, so got all kinds of, what do we got here? Contract, yeah, that's contract complete for science from the surface. World first milestone, we have entered into a suborbital flight of the moon. Yeah, we did do that. Another contract complete for science data from the surface. Mun Probes, you have successfully performed the automatic Mun Probes. That's awesome. Strategy has become available. Look at all these strategies that are now available to us because we finished off that one. And in fact, let's do that right now into our Tier 3 administration building. And the one I am looking at is Mun Program. Does the same thing. Milestones around the moon, gets you more funds. And the objective is simply to plant a flag on the moon. One Kerbal, plant a flag on the moon. Done. Let's do it. All right. Excellent. And I think what we need to do, I'm just looking at the time of the stream. Yeah, I kind of want to put a Kerbal in orbit. We've not done enough stuff with Kerbals. It's time for a Kerbal to go into orbit. So, let's see here. Contracts. Just got, yeah, the Mun Probe we'll ignore. Let's hide you for a little while. But we're going to need to cross the Kármán line, which is simply to get above 70 kilometers and to do a crew orbit and return safely. This one can be done in a suborbital flight, but why don't, we're just going to do both of them. We're going to go for an orbit. That is what we're going to do. So we are pulling out our Mark 1 command pod. Now, this is where Kerbalism, let's take this out. This is where Kerbalism starts to become all kinds of fun. To date, Kerbalism has really just been about the differences in how we collect science. But now, let's get rid of these contracts. There's too many things open. But now, I gotta think about keeping my Kerbals alive. And there's all kinds of things I have to think about. So let's get into configuring this probe, this pod. It's not a probe, it's a pod. There it is. So you can see aboard, it has a scrubber. And the scrubber is there to remove carbon dioxide from the air that the Kerbals are breathing. Of all the bits not to mess with, if you got Kerbals and you're in space and you have Kerbalism installed, don't mess with the scrubber. Don't turn it off. Don't get rid of it. Always make sure it's there, because I find the easiest way, for me, the closest I've come to killing Kerbals with Kerbalism is because of CO2 poisoning. So you definitely want to take care of the scrubbers. Make sure the scrubber is ready to go. Make sure that it always has electricity, because if it runs out of electricity and the scrubbers turn off, you're in trouble. Thankfully, the electric demands is not that high, but definitely want that. And also, we have a built-in monopropellant fuel cell, which burns monopropellant to create electricity. So that is nice as kind of a backup means of electricity. So that is cool as well. So I'm going to turn that all off. I'm going to make sure that that stuff is on. Let's see here. Okay, the scrubber is on. The fuel cell is off. That's okay for now. I also want to make sure that this is ready to take crew reports. That is great as well. And something else is, we're used to having the launch escape system. This is the stock launch escape system, but it's so freaking huge. But I have a launch escape system junior. Look at that. That's obviously meant just for this. And I was playing with this a little earlier. Oh, like that's a Mercury redstone. I love that. Is so beautiful. That is just great. So we definitely want to have this guy involved in the mix. I like escape towers. Technically, well, to be honest, actually, with Kerbalism engine failures and stuff, you might have a good reason to use an escape tower. Now, I think there is a decoupler, but I'm noticing the decoupler is not showing up in the staging. I don't know if that's a mistake. So what I'm going to do... Actually, we'll deal with all that in a little bit. Let's do that. Now, this guy's going to need parachutes. We shan't forget the parachutes. But I guess I'll just go with a pair of radial chutes on the side here. Like so. Kind of huge, but... Oh, well, what you going to do? How big are these? Get that out of the way. How big are these compared? These are a ton... Oh, these are the same. Okay. So that's that. We need a heat shield. Thermal. A 1.25 meter heat shield. And we got to think about propelling this fella. So let's think about this. I just only need to give it... It doesn't need a lot of delta V, really. Like 100 meters per second or so would be just fine. So what I'm going to do... Let me think about this. Yeah, let's put on a decoupler. The TD, this one. And let's put on this guy. And let's see if I can get away with something super small. That's what I'm thinking. So this is a thrust to weight of 1.83 and a delta V of 266. That is perfectly serviceable. Little starting to play. There we go. A beautiful, it's perfectly serviceable little service dude. Actually, it won't have this on it when it's coming back, so it'll just be like that. 376 meters per second of delta V. That is perfectly great. Now, let's set up for our Kerbals an abort action group so that if things go really, really badly, these Kerbals can get away. So if in a case of an abort, I need to decouple that. Boom. And we need to toggle these engines. Where is activate? I'm on the wrong thing still. Ah, silly boy. And I guess I'll put just decouple on action group number 1. Why not? Actually, let's get down the list here a little bit. Let's put it on action group number 5 so I don't hit it by mistake. Decouple. There we go. So, in and abort. Let's get back to that. This decouples, that pulls this guy off. Yep. And then we'll... Yep. Okay, and let's get this into space. So, what's the mass of this thing? 2.5 tons? That doesn't sound too... There's a booster that can lift 2.8 tons. Am I already there? Is this already going to work for me if I just... let's edit this fairing. If I just bring that up like that. I'm serious. Is this might be the end of it. I might be okay. So... Yoich. Let's change that to like a darker... Not much difference in that. I don't know. I'm getting too picky with the look of it. Of course, this has the... Boop. Do I want that white? No, dark is the way to go. Dark is the way to go. Oh, wait. There was one with a white stripe. Sure. Sure. Okay. I think we're getting close. Now, let's go over here. We'll take a look at some of the things it's telling us about in Kerbalism. So if we take a look at the food, we can see that he has 5 days of food. He has, if I come across here, 5 days of water. Or she. Actually, let's put Valentina in there now I'm thinking about it. Jebediah's always hogging the seats here. Let's put in Valentina. Take away that parachute. Okay. So, back to here again. And 5 days of oxygen. Down here, it's telling you about their stress. Their living space is a little bit cramped. Their comfort's very poor. One of the things that's a problem with this guy is that this capsule is not pressurized. So, they have to live in their spacesuits. They don't like that. But as long as they're up for a short period of time, that's not going to be such a big deal. It says here a duration. I'm assuming that's how far they can stay in here before they go completely mental. And it's depressurized. Tells you the volume, what they got in there. The scrubber is good. You definitely want to pay attention to that. The breathing, I'm not sure quite what that's saying. Oh, because of a lack of atmosphere, we're going to be losing, yeah, this leaks atmosphere pretty quickly. If we click over here, it tells you what their radiation will be if they're in low orbit. We're going to keep them in low orbit, so it's going to be fine. Here we're getting reliability, and how long it's going to say. Redundancy is a good idea. I do have redundant attitude control. How do I have redundant attitude? Oh, because of the... Okay, I don't have redundant attitude control. This is what we should be looking at. Redundancy is poor, because we only have one form of life support, one form of attitude control, and 2 ways to land. I guess they're counting propulsive landing, but there's no way this thing will propulsive land. It does. Do I own those repair kits yet? I'm noticing it says I don't have a repair kit, but I don't think I have them yet. I do not. So that's life, no repair kit. And I'm not pressurized. What I want to do, though, is give him a source of electricity. If we take here at the monoprop fuel cell, let's configure this pod. This monoprop fuel cell consumes monopropellant and generates electricity, and it consumes it at 0.090 a minute. Now there is 10 units of monopropellant in here, and I worked out that, let me see here, that will last for 1.85 hours. However, it also requires oxygen. You certainly don't want it to be using the oxygen that's there to keep the Kerbal alive. So what I'm going to also do is just add on, let's get rid of this booster, a pressurized tank. Where are my little pressurized? Where are they? Why did I forget where my pressurized tanks are? I thought they were in this group. Okay, now I'm confused. That's science. Where are those pressurized? Pressure. Okay, for some reason... Oh, wait a second. It's because I'm not on this. Oh, that was weird. Okay, there we go. Pressurized tanks. What I need are... I figured out if I put in 1,042 units... 1,422 units of oxygen in one of these tanks and then make 4 of them. There. That will run the fuel cell for 1.85 hours, at which point this thing is out of electricity and then we are in some degree of trouble. But I don't know. I think Jeb will be okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with that monoprop fuel cell running. I'm also going to go in here because he has 5 days of food. I mean, he can only live for about a couple of hours, so there's absolutely no reason for him to have all that food aboard. So we'll take out most of the food. Shieldings doesn't need shielding. You can actually add in radiation shielding, which is great if you're going to leave low orbit. I'm thinking this is looking pretty good. Let's take this fairing out. Yes. We'll leave it on there just like a cowling. Okay, let's check our staging. That's the middle one. That's that. That's that. And then I know what I'm going to do. For an action group, on action group 5, I'm going to select this. We will decouple it and activate the engine, and that should send it soaring off. And this parachute needs to be with that. I'm thinking this is a thing. Now let's just go quickly through the checklist because I do want to make sure. Fine print, so let's bring up those contracts, cross the Kerman line, and get into orbit and return safely. Nothing fancy there. I have control. I played around with the cabin space. I have oxygen, water, and food. I don't need to worry about waste. There are things. Radiation protection I don't have to worry about. Science, he's just going to do a crew report and an EVA report. I've done everything else there is to do. Power generation I've taken care of. Electrical storage. I told myself I should just have 50, which I think is just what's in the capsule. Where's electrical? Oh, he's got plenty. There's no problem there. Antenna strength is irrelevant. Antenna speed is irrelevant. Data storage is irrelevant. I think. Yep. And propulsion he's got. RCS isn't. I don't have that unlocked yet. Parachutes are on there. Thermal protection he's got. Lights! Oh my gosh, lights, 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 lights. How can I forget about lights? Lights. Here, let's take... Oh, let's expand this. Bearing expansion. There we go. Let's put on some lights here. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I kind of like these. Let's put these on here. Too many windows. Aim these sort of downwards like that. That should work out well. Make them kind of ambery. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And we'll put him on blinky. Blink on. We should also put on some nice navigation lights. Put them here. 2 of them. turn that to white and remove the symmetry, and this is the left side, so it's red. The cockpit hatch is always the top, by the way, for those people that don't know this. This one's going to be green. We'll just have those come on solid like. Let's change this color to gray so they sort of match in there. And let's put one more light right up here. We'll color this one blue so that we know where the hatch is in case we get lost. All right, so that's got that. That's got that. Okay, so lights are done with. Upgrades should be fine. How many? I got 17 ignitions in there. By the way, if this engine fails, we're in a lot of trouble for trying to get back down. So that's something to keep in mind. There's no cargo to take. Thrust to weight is fine. Fairing deploy we talked about, but I will, and staging. I've checked the staging here. Let's just play a bit with the launch thrust to weights. Let's turn off our checklist. I don't need that anymore. That looks good. And probably we can increase the thrust here. Oh, it's already at 100%, so that's as much as that's going to get. And I think this is good. So the one thing I do want to test, let's save. Oh, we got to give this a name. For goodness sakes, this is the Spark 1. Naming it after the engine. Okay. One thing I want to test is the abort system. I want to make sure that the abort system works without me having to do anything. So I'm going to use the simulation mode. And I've made a change to the crash simulator settings that are going to be really apparent really quick. You think I should give Val a parachute in case she bails on her way down? I don't know. There's 2 radial parachutes on it. I've got this wireframe thing on here. Somebody suggested it in the YouTube comments, something you can turn on in the crash simulator. It's in the settings for crash simulator. It's kind of neat because it makes it readily apparent that this is a simulation mode as opposed to launching it for real. And also you can actually see inside and see parts that are normally kind of hidden, which I think can be useful as well. So this is just about testing the abort system. That's all it is. So I'm going to hit the abort key. And then I'm going to stage that parachute really fast. So, abort. There we go. Parachute. And 5 to get rid of that. And hopefully, we should be able to descend safely. And if we can descend safely in this situation, we should be good. Clearly, we're going to be descending safely. Everything is fine. Oh, that came really close to us. Now watch that. Boom! Okay, let's terminate the simulation. Let's do this. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. All right, so we don't need this. All right, we got our contracts. Yeah, let's save. I think we're ready to go. Let's save and go. Launch. Voyager fun, not going to be for a while. Right? Remember that I'm getting punished for going in biomes other than the moon. So, oh, which reminds me, I should have, oh well, whatever. I shouldn't have grabbed that. I'm going to get punished for the milestones for getting into orbit and stuff, but oh well. I should have grabbed that Mun program one after doing this one, but that's okay. Okay. So, Valentina, I think you are ready. Let's put you on info. And it gives us some health information on how she's doing, too. Okay, Valentina, your ready. Alarm clock can come off. And our contracts. We want to keep an eye on contracts. Okay. I'm a little nervous because I don't want Valentina to die. But this has been a pretty tried and trusted booster. So let's do it. Boom. Boom. Off we go. In fact, it's the exact same booster that you just saw lifting the... oh, I don't have lock to prograde. because Valentina is not level 1 yet. This mission will fix that. So we're just going to ride that prograde vector up. Right? Nope, she has no lock to prograde. So I'm going to just keep SAS off and just sort of let natural aerodynamics. I shouldn't get too fussy about the inclination, the exact heading here. That doesn't really matter. Let's lock that on there. We're falling over a little quickly. Okay, about to lose our SRBs. There they go. Boom, together. Looking good, looking good. Valentina seems to be in a good state. And I just turned SAS off. I'm just letting natural aerodynamics take care of this. Once Valentina is up, she will be ready for there we go. Just knock back the throttle. That she will be level 1 and then she'll have the locked prograde ability. Should be doing a crew report, right? Yes, we're taking a crew report flying high above Kerbin. Hopefully it'll get that whole thing off before we're done. And otherwise, we're just watching. Oh, I'm losing my... I should actually keep this locked on prograde. Oh, maybe not. Just notice I'm losing my time to apoapsis here a little bit. Let's get this back up again. Okay. Actually, let's turn on that SAS. Oh, telemetry report from the moon's Lowlands just got transmitted from one of our landers. Our lights on. Okay, we certainly don't need this tower anymore, so I'm going to hit 5. There goes that. And just keep watching our time to apoapsis here. Our apoapsis just got over 70 kilometers. Everything is nominal. Okay, 80 kilometers. We're cutting that. Let's turn off SAS. Okay. Watching my electric charge here. It seems to be bouncing between 59 minutes and 29 minutes. I'm not quite sure what that's about. By the way, we can't do an EVA report here. Kerbalism takes away those EVA reports while flying through an atmosphere thing. It kind of understandably considers them a little bit silly. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to keep this engine on here. And just because that way if this engine fails, I still have this engine as a backup. We might not ever use the little spark engine, but then that way I don't want Valentina to be stuck in orbit with an engine failure and just like, you know, hours to live. That would be bad. All right, we are in space. We are in space. Let's circularize first before we do anything else. Did we get off our crew report flying high? That's being transmitted still, and we are now collecting a crew report space low. Excellent. Let's time warp to our... We'll do our circularization. We should have crossed... we definitely crossed the Kármán line, but part of this is returning safely. Let's time warp a little bit closer to apoapsis. There we go. SAS back on. Onto that prograde vector. Oh, it'll be nice when you can do this for us, Valentina. There we go. Increase our throttle. I'm just pitching down just to keep... oh, never mind. I'm done. That's it. That's our orbit. So we've got our orbit. We've got our across the Kármán line. All we got to do now is safely get Valentina back down to the surface. Let's do an EVA report. So Valentina is going to go out. She is going to do her EVA report. And that's going to take about 45 seconds. By the way, for those people that know of the manly maneuver, which is you're out of fuel, so you get a Kerbal out to push with their jetpacks, you have limited ability to do the manly maneuver with Kerbalism because the fuel that is currently in Valentina's jetpacks came from the monopropellant supply that's in the capsule. So that's why I'm not going to fly around, because I'll be using up the monopropellant that is being used to power the fuel cell, which will reduce her ability to stay in orbit, or at least the amount of time she can stay in orbit. So, you know, that's that. Okay, she is done. Get back inside. And all of these are not biome specific. So we're just going to kind of, let's just time warp around. I should keep an eye on info. I do want to make, I don't like the way this electric charge time is bouncing. I'm not sure what's causing that. Oh, is it? There's not stuff being transmitted. Oh, because the sensors are running. Of course, I didn't factor that into this. That's all it is. It's because we're doing the crew report. That's taking up a little bit of electricity. That should settle out once the crew report is done. And I was saying it's doing some transmitting. It's not, because I don't have an antenna aboard. All right, we're done. And hopefully that's caused... Yes, so now... Oh, no, it's still bouncing. What is causing... It just says others. There's an others there that's... I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get ourselves ready to get her back down. That's what we're going to do. Let's get her back down to the surface. So, what I like to do for... Oh, wait, we have trajectories. I've forgotten we have trajectories installed. So, I'm going to time warp to about... I always like to start these descents right underneath the Boomerang launch site. And we will make sure that trajectories is on, wherever that may be. Did I lose? I might have lost trajectories for some reason. Okay, that's interesting. No trajectories. So, okay, no trajectories. Lights are blinking, are they not? I have blinky lights. They're underneath this cowling here. So they're sort of blinking and you can kind of see them, but you kind of cannot. Okay, let's... Not sure what happened to trajectories. But I think things would be best served to get Valentina back down to the surface here. I'm not too comfortable with the electricity. I should have put some solar cells on here, not just dependent on the fuel cell. Alright, so we're just going to burn in a retrograde fashion until this gets down. Oh, there's trajectories. It's making its appearance. It will be short of this because we're about to shed a lot of mass. Alright. So, back onto the north vector we go. Oh, wait, well, I don't need to... Oh, I'm going to put it on the normal vector just for the... Not for solar panels this time, but just so when we push this thing out of our way, it's going to go in a different direction. So, let's lose this service module. Or the service module, it's the whole booster. There's our little orbiter that we've yet to get to. Using up the oxygen that's inside. I still hate the way the electricity is bouncing back and forth. Yeah, let's just get down to the surface. Let's just get down to the surface. Because I don't want to mess with this. Not until we have more redundancy built into these capsules. Alright, just about to go into the atmosphere. Let's shoo this away. That should also arm our parachutes. Put this onto the retrograde vector. Turn that off. I just realized as well, in so doing that, I just threw away the oxygen supply that was running the fuel cell. But hopefully our oxygen demands aren't too high anymore. Now, where's trajectories predict? Ah, we're coming short. See that? Because we shed all that mass, or we're not carrying through so far. That's... oh, well. Let's get down. We should be okay. Parachutes are armed. Everything looks fine. Oh, I just realized I put the blue light on double. I got a blue light on this side, too. That's okay. It's our first orbit. Our first Kerbal in space. Oh, the electric power is blinking because of the lights. Oh, that makes 100% sense. And I've lost my blinky lights. Just people are saying in the comments that the electric was because of the lights blinking on and off. That makes 100% sense. And the blinky lights were all on the sort of service module bit. I guess that's it down there. So now the electric charge is stable. I'm surprised those blinky lights used up that much electricity. We're okay. We're okay. That's something to keep in mind. I need a more steady source of electrical generation, that's for sure. Alright, we are coming down. We're not going to be landing in the water. Hopefully we won't be landing in these mountains either. I'm hoping we'll be just a little bit shy of these mountains. Let's put this on terrain. Or, I don't know. This is nerve-wracking. I don't want to be in the mountains. Don't put you in the mountains. You can land anywhere, just not in the mountains. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't like this at all. Here, I'm going to take the time warp off. I'm getting nervous. Oh my gosh, Valentina. Okay, I'm going to put SAS on. I'm going to get ready to sort of try and kind of hold position here. And actually, let's jettison the heat shield, because I think that makes the bottom more flat. There's no science being collected. Oh my gosh. I don't like this mountain stuff. I don't think I have any ability to direct this, do I? I don't think so. And besides, this is using up a lot of electricity. Oh, now the scrubbers don't matter, though. If I run out of electricity, she's fine because it, you know, she's in a breathable atmosphere. But I don't like... I'm trying to see if I can sort of... I have no idea whether I'm actually directing this, giving myself any sort of lateral motion. I don't think I am. The retrograde vector is still very much right on the top. Okay. Great. We are pointing down right on the side of a cliff. Oh, I could bail Val. You're right. Am I too low for that? EVA? Oh, I've never done... Oh, no, this might not be a good idea. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting back in. Someone said bail Val. That's a great idea, except I've not practiced too much with the parachutes, and now I think we're too close to the surface. Okay. Come on. Oh, SAS on. Let's see if we can... Stay. I think I got it. Now, I got a feeling we're taking another crew report, so I'm going to stay here. Because there's a crew report now being taken on the, in the mountains, I have to assume. Where's crew report? Right here. Is this in the mountains? Yep. So we'll stay here for 4 minutes here. Let's time warp. I should have bailed her. You're 100% right, people in the chat. I should have bailed her at a much, much higher altitude. But I think we're okay. Hey, Val, the first mountain climber. Just getting rid of the rest of this crew report. And as well, she can do an EVA and do a... I'm surprised that this thing's not rolling at all. Do an EVA report and a surface sample. From the mountains, no less. Oh, I can't time warp. Okay, let's let go. Oh, no, 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 no. Jeez Louise. Val, no! Where's the... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Val had a mountain climbing accident. Well, I talked about all the ways to kill Kerbals with Kerbalism, but this I did this completely on my own stupidity. Well, somehow it's still counting as return home safely. I should have just left her in the capsule. I am so sorry, Valentina. Oh, dear. Well, that's that. For science, we got all the science that we needed. So there's that. Oh my gosh, Valentina, I am so sorry. Yeah, we got some strategies, some milestones. This contract is complete. Oh, well, we got 143 science. I wanted to get this one. This one gives me RCS. And RCS actually makes a nice backup form of propulsion for your capsules. So I definitely want to go there. The other thing I'm looking at, I think, is heavy rockets. To get into some, like at the Skipper engine here. The Bobcat engine, which is great. I think I'm going to go along this route here. What is under the tank side? Do have some nice tanks, but I think I'm gonna go... Probably should end up getting both of these eventually, but... Ouch! Poor Valentina. I'm trying to hide it, but I am kind of upset about that. I'm just looking at the time as well, and I think she does not regenerate. I have Kerbal regenerating turned off there, Dionicus. That is, she is killed in action. That is the end. Nope, she's just KIA. Sorry, everybody. We are now down a Kerbal. We'll have to see what we can do to bring in more Kerbal recruits, but I think that's all going to have to be for a future stream. So I thank you very much all for turning out, and I hope to see you again on Monday. Have yourselves a great weekend.